Hello, everybody. I'm back with a new review for a movie I saw on Friday. So I'm a little late on getting this one out here, but it's better late than never. Today I'm reviewing the Poltergeist remake. It was just released on Friday, so I saw it opening day. And really, when it comes to a movie that's remaking such a classic horror film, there's going to be some negativity surrounding it. And I kind of went in with that mentality, thinking this is going to be good. This is just going to be the same old movie, but with, a bunch of CGI. And it really is that, but it's a little better than you would expect. I mean, I actually kind of enjoyed myself while I was watching it. So if you're not familiar, the original Poltergeist came out in 1982, just a week before E.T. Poltergeist was produced by Steven Spielberg. Some believe he actually directed it. But I'm on the camp side of, in between that Steven Spielberg had his hands in it and maybe did a few scenes and had a lot of control over the visual style of Poltergeist instead of Tobe Hooper. But anyway, classic horror film. So you would expect, any horror film is going to get remade these days. Even the It movie was going to get remade at one point, but they've run into trouble, as reported today. But with the Poltergeist remake, it's pretty standard as it starts out. You have a family. They move into a new house in the suburbs, and they've really tried to update this movie for a modern audience because the family, they're in all types of financial woes. Whereas the family in the original was very well off, and they were doing very well. Whereas in this one, they're not doing very good. And this house was like in their lowest budget that they could afford. And of course, the house is haunted. And of course, the realtor doesn't tell them that it was built on a cemetery ground. But don't worry, they've moved the bodies and the headstones and everything. And that's not the case. As if you've seen the original Poltergeist, that's not going to be the case. Anyway, you have the two parents, one played by Sam Rockwell, one of my favorite actors, also probably one of the most underrated actors ever. And you have three bratty kids who only live to cause trouble and be annoying for the most part. I mean, they're annoying, but then they're also, so were the kids in the original, so I don't really see a difference in that. Anyway, soon enough, strange things begin to happen around the house, and the daughter goes missing. She goes missing inside the house and is taken into whatever you would like to call it, a purgatory or a type of in-between of afterlife is where she's taken. And the family gets into contact with these collegiate ghost hunters who help them out. Same thing that happened in the original. And they eventually get a guy with a ghost hunter TV show to come in and help them. Except you would think, with this kind of movie, he'd be a joke. But in the movie, he's actually pretty legit and does help this family. And the movie also tries to improve on some of the, little things that happen in the original. Like in the original, after the family is all safe and everything, they still stay in the house for one night before they leave. Whereas in this one, the family leaves immediately. They get out of there. So I'm glad they did that. But things still happen, of course, because the movie has 15 minutes left. You got to fill that 15 minutes with something. Also, another thing I knew they were going to do, but I didn't know I'd be a fan of, is like showing the afterlife and everything. Because I felt like that's what made the original work, was this mystery around it, that about what's on the other side and what it looks like. And all we see ever is a light and some monsters come out of it, these demonic monsters. That's all we ever see. In this one, they go into the afterlife and they send a drone in, and we see scenes inside the afterlife, which is, I feel like it's just kind of a ripoff of Insidious, where, you know, they go into the haunted recesses of the kid's mind. It's their house, but it's an alternate version of their house. And that's what they do here. It's their house, except the spirits are all over the walls, and their arms are reaching out, trying to grab at you. But really, this wasn't a terrible movie. I mean, as far as remakes go, they really could have done a worse Poltergeist remake. I mean, it doesn't stand up to the classic that the original is, because I love the original. It probably goes up there in my top 100 favorite movies of all time, just because of how good that movie looked, and the effects for the time were still cheap but good. I enjoy it, and I didn't hate this one. I thought it was a very decent remake. Also, based on, you know, the remakes we get nowadays, it was a really breath of fresh air ever since the Evil Dead remake came out in 2013. This one was actually pretty good. I did enjoy it. It doesn't improve a whole lot, and I feel like it goes for cheap jump scares at times, because the movie really wasn't that scary to me. I didn't find it really frightening or anything, or making me shake in my seat, except for one good moment with a guy in a power tool and being attacked by the ghost with that power tool. That was actually a pretty chilling, on the edge of your seat scene. But other than that, there wasn't much to this movie in terms of scares and horror. So if you have free time and you want to check out a very decent horror movie, you can check out Poltergeist, or you can wait until I would suggest checking it out once it's available to rent on DVD or Blu-ray. So that's all I have to say today for Poltergeist. I will be back with another review sometime this week for an older movie, and I'll have to check and see. I don't remember what's coming out this week, but I'm sure something will come out soon that you will love to hear my opinion on. So that's all for now. Have a good day.